Failure, by definition, a lack of success. The definition of success, the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. According to these very guidelines, failing is to be marching toward an end point and for one reason or another, not getting there. Is failure a possibility? Of course it is. There are no definites in life. But failure is also self-induced. It is not an outside occurrence. It's not a coin flip or an event that we helplessly watch unfold before us. It's not up to chance. Failure is a decision. The decision to end that same march that you once started. Just like putting on your shoes is a decision. Just like traveling or running or eating, these are decisions that we make. And when the word is all too frequently brought up in everyday conversation, what's evident is that there is a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to quote-unquote fail. It's spoken about as though it's something that's projected onto us, as though failure is an illness or catastrophic event, something that emerges and subdues its victims. And speaking of it in such a way misdiagnoses the problem. It's easy to say, so-and-so started a business and it failed. So-and-so didn't make the team, so they failed. But there's more here. One does not fail until they take a step back, look at the situation, and say that it's no longer worth it anymore. You don't fail until the moment you raise the white flag and say, I cannot do this. Because if you're out there, if you're changing, adapting, stretching yourself and your abilities, if you're seeking help, mentors, learning, growing, embracing the struggle, being relentless in your effort, no one can bring that word into the conversation. It cannot exist. If you are moving forward, you are not failing. You cannot be working towards something and failing at the same time. It is impossible. You can have your ups and downs. No one will refute that. You can get knocked on your ass, have moments of fear and doubt, but that is growth, not failure. Growth is taking the uncomfortable and adapting to it, overcoming the obstacles that inevitably get in your way. Failure, on the other hand, is deciding that growth is no longer worth the sweat. Because I'll tell you what, there's always a way to win, and I truly believe that. Sometimes the cost is extreme, sometimes the price is more than everyone around you is willing to pay, but that's a conversation that you need to have with yourself. Just know that if you want it, somewhere there exists a solution, and knowing that is the beginning of greatness. It is the start of success. And as for that question, what if I fail? Here's some insight. That thought is wasted time and it is wasted energy, because as far as your goals go, you pull the strings. You are the writer, you are the director, and you are the actor. Failure only occurs when you write it into your script, when you choose it for an ending. And it is one ending, one of many. It is one approach of many. Once you've started that march towards what's important to you, do not let failure be the choice that you make. Choose growth. Choose the adventure. Choose the long way home. Victory over defeat, the uphill climb over regret. Choose to move forward when most wouldn't. It's the decision you'll always be thankful you made. It all starts with a thought. You didn't ask for it. You never wanted it, but it's here. And now the game has changed. Because that thought is not your friend. It's not telling you how strong you are or reminding you that you always find a way. No, it's informing you that you're finished. Tired. Weak. Chanting that you'll get 'em tomorrow, kid. Softly at first. Then a little louder and a little louder until the message becomes unmistakable. And in this moment, it's not your legs that become vulnerable. It's not your lungs. This situation transcends the physical. You are in the ring with your mind. This is when the gloves come off. It's fight or flight, and in your gut, you know it's nothing more than a front, intimidation. Life's way of separating the average from the exceptional, but this is not about knowing the truth. It's about having the courage to stand up to it. Because that voice is continuously showing you your distress, your pain, your fatigue. It's pointing to an empty well, telling you that you have nothing left, and perhaps in a different universe you'd listen. But in this world, the well always goes deeper. There is always more to give. That moment when you begin to hurt, the second that voice pops into your head, you have only given a fraction of your maximum effort. When you meet resistance, your limits haven't even been tested. Obstacles do not make the destination any more or less real. They simply call for an adjustment. So adjust. See, time stops when you stop. Goals stop when you stop. Dreams stop when you stop. And in a world with infinite possibility, there's simply no reason to relinquish that control. So let your forward progress silence the dissenting voices. Let those on the sideline talk about their empty tanks and fantasize limitation. You are not running on empty. My friend, you are simply running. Today belongs to the architect. He sees towers before they pierce the sky, an opportunity before it transforms into the extraordinary. He knows that what he wants most cannot be given. It must be sculpted. So he builds. He builds because those skylines don't raise themselves from the earth. The extraordinary does not appear on its own. They are dreamed into existence by the architects of reality. The ones who seek not to take from the world, but to contribute to it. Today is the beginning of something new, something better, something worth remembering. And it's existed long before the present moment, waiting for your vision, your courage, your persistence to bring it to life. Too many times we fail to reach into the realm of what we know and get more of ourselves. It's okay to struggle, to be wrong, to have to rebuild 1,000 times, but the great tragedy is closing our eyes and walking by life's opportunity. Everything you need to rebuild the life you dream of is around you, your every move. If only you'd reach for it, see it before your eyes, you become the architect of change. Nothing is impossible when you are the one setting the rules, when your hand draws the guidelines. You are not at the mercy of the world, you are creating it. This is yours. And there will never be a moment like it again, so don't run from it or hope life gives you what you want. Take the pieces in front of you and construct your masterpiece. Success is inevitable. Amidst a mysterious and winding road, it is my only certainty. You might ask how? How could I possibly be sure? I don't have evidence or tales of victory, not yet. But like most, you're looking at the target. You're looking at the treetops, the horizon, forgetting about the arm that aims at the bullseye, the seed that brings about roots in the boat that pushes toward the distance. I am those things. To look for certainty in a world where none exists, that's a fool's errand. I can't predict how the next 20 years are going to unfold or play out, but what I can tell you is that I will be well positioned to take life as it comes. An ever-changing world will always be outdone by an agile mind. Success is inevitable. Because those peaks and valleys, they don't determine or shape my life. They simply test my will to move forward. See, like most, you look at the low points as a message, as a warning sign. Forgetting that those very moments, well, they also provide the rope needed to climb higher. They're a necessity. You know, darkness, it often brings a deep panic, a pessimism that can be crippling. Personally, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Time separates now from then. But what's inevitable, what I'm sure of, is the morning, the light that will infiltrate every inch of my existence. It will allow me to see, to take the world as it comes, one step at a time, and that's what I need, not certainty, just opportunity. Preparation is what warrants my attention. The journey, well, that will take care of itself. And in the early stages, when there are miles and miles to go, success is not measured in the distance traveled, but in the will to succeed. Yes, the world will change, it will present its challenges, but a burning desire to overcome is indifferent to obstacles. It takes a million pieces coming together to tell a story. A million parts to make up the whole. Every day, that puzzle becomes a little more complete. Sacrifices are made with the hope that a picture will materialize, that someday it will all make sense. It will add up. In your world, the next piece must be acquired because it's what you've grown to need. One last push and then you'll be inspired. One more tool and then you'll be ready to go. One more. Just one more. But what if more was a myth? What if your idea of necessary was wrong? If you already had what you need and the objective shifted, not from seeking your next answer or finding your next piece, but in rearranging the pieces that are already in front of you, playing the hand that you have. See, stagnation is a product of thinking that you are not yet ready, that you're not yet prepared someday, but not yet. And this can be an enemy because there will never be a perfect moment. A green light does not drop down from the clouds and let you know that everything is good. There will always be some doubt, some uneasiness, and if there's not, then you're thinking too small. Everything that is required, you already have. What makes or breaks a person is what they do with the pieces they already possess. There's no value in the waiting game. Postponing, rationalizing contain very little benefit. The key is progress. It's been said that sometimes you have to jump and grow your wings on the way down. Trust that within you is everything you need. You will grow, you will learn, you will evolve, but that doesn't happen standing still. Stop chasing every single thing you don't have and start capitalizing on what you do. Regret will cling to those waiting for their perfect moment while you manufacture mountaintops.